friends. It's Pat at Dancing Moon Travel with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. And this evening, I am going to bring to you just a list of some of my favorite destinations. I just wanted to share with you. Sometimes people are just in need of a little inspiration of where to go and what to see and why to go. So I thought, and people ask me all the time. So I thought, since I get a lot of questions and people seem curious about what trips I have enjoyed, I thought it would be a good time to just share and give you a little bit of benefit of what I have done over the years and what some of my very favorite destinations have been. If you're looking for inspiration, this might give you a little bit of a hint of some of the places to go. Uh, Starting off, one of my all-time favorite trips ever was when we did the Amazon River. That was an amazing adventure. It was on one of Princess's small ships back when they still had those. It's been a few years since we did this, but it is still one of my all-time favorite memories. And there's so many reasons. It's first, it's such a different experience once you get on the Amazon. Um, it's educational. You learn so much, and it is just so different from anything that we experience in our lives here in the United States. Where we think nothing about getting in a car and well, we do today with the price of gas, but frequently we think very little about getting in the car and taking a Sunday drive and putting 150 miles round trip on a just out for a recreational drive to a local park or something to just do some sightseeing in our local areas. But it's very, very different for people who live along the Amazon River. Actually, their highway is the river. This is how they get around. There aren't roads through the jungle, and so you'll visit. We visited the first city we visited when we pulled into the Amazon River, and you don't even know you're in the river. The captain has to tell you because it's so broad you cannot see shore, and it's just amazing, and you learn so much. I'm just telling you, it's an education all in itself. But this is how people travel on the Amazon River. These little ferry boats chug up and down the river. People carry a hammock under their arm, and there's hooks inside these ferry boats, and they'll hook their hammock from one side to the next and just kind of lay back and wait until they get to whatever destination that they want to visit there. So this is a very common sight that you see up and down the Amazon River. The meeting of the waters, you're going to hear a lot about that, and you're going to see it. The headwaters and the rivers that feed into the Amazon River are very different. And you have the meeting of the waters. You have the brown water and you have the blue clear water that come together when these rivers dump their water into the basin there. And they'll go for miles because the water, the characteristics of the waters are so different that it takes them many miles to just mingle because their pH factors and the waters are just that different that they can't mingle. It takes them a while to just kind of come together. A few of my photos that I saw, and I apologize for the quality of these pictures. My camera just did not do a good job on this. This was on Devil's Island, which is outside of the Amazon, just as we were making our way down there. But some of the things, here's people living here along the river, a couple of guys fishing, catching their fish to feed the family that day. We fished for piranha, and this was one of my favorite experiences. Just can't even tell you how much fun that was. I'll never forget the experience, but they had a little kitchenette on board this excursion boat that we were on, and they cooked up what we caught. The piranha, folks, is absolutely delicious, but do not touch those teeth because they have a mouthful of razors, is what it amounts to. But the fish was absolutely succulent, incredibly delicious. And this was our guide. She's in her real life, she's an RN. She works and she just acts as a guide when a ship is in for the day. She will take the day and guide. Her English and everything was very good. This was in the city of Santarem that we did this excursion outside the city there. And folks, this was a major city, large city. They have FedEx, they have an airport, they have modern, cars and everything. So a big city, but there's no roads coming really out of the city. You can't really go anywhere on land, though. Here again, the river is the highway. And here's another image. This is from further up the river when we stopped at a little village, Boca de Valeria. It's just a very small village where we stopped. They have a few little homes there and just places, a few people living there and a church and a school. And we stopped there, and these are just some of the people there showing us some of the animals that they had as that they kept as pets there. So just a very, very different kind of life there, and it was just so interesting. If you've been a lot of places and don't know where you might like to go next, I really, there's several itineraries to choose from, or you can just travel to Brazil there or Peru to one of those cities and just do the Amazon River on one of the small river boats there. There's several ways to approach it, but I really recommend that trip. It was absolutely fascinating. Probably, somewhere on the list of number 4, and these are in no order of my preference at all, but Alaska. Folks, Alaska just is always, always somewhere on that top travel experience list for me. It is just an awesome destination. The scenery is absolutely incredible, just seeing these incredible glaciers. And you can do the flight seeing, of course, and see the mountains and the glaciers from above. Absolutely just an amazing, amazing destination. Can't recommend it too highly. I think that I always look when we're booking our clients for an Alaska cruise, I always look, if possible, to include Glacier Bay. It is such an incredible thing. Your ship will pull into Glacier Bay just at barely moving, and it comes into the bay, and it just turns in a 360-degree circle. It spends several hours there just gradually turning. It's almost imperceptible when you're on board to see so that everybody gets to see every side of the bay. It is amazing. The wildlife that you'll see. I showed you these seals and whales are very common to see, but these huge glaciers, and if you're there during the height of the summer season, the sounds of these glaciers calving, dropping huge icebergs into the bay, it is just an amazing experience. Now, one thing that I always, and one of my favorite, I wanted to show you this, one of my favorite excursions, besides visiting Glacier Bay, which isn't really an excursion because you don't get off the ship, but I absolutely love Skagway because this White Pass Rail is such an incredible excursion. You're going to see, if you do that excursion, you are going to see some of the most incredible scenery as you go up the side of the mountain and just view all of the scenery. It's just incredible. And of course, rail trips are always an amazing experience anyway. Speaking of amazing rail experiences, whenever we possibly can, folks, we encourage our clients, when you do Alaska, for most of our clients, Alaska is a one and done. You do it as a lifetime trip, and that's the only time that you're going to visit Alaska. If at all possible, if you have the time and can stretch your budget just a bit, folks, plan to do the interior as well. Do the cruise tour. We like to tell our clients to do the tour first because it's going to be a little more, you're going to have early mornings. You're going to have a schedule. You're going to have to keep a schedule because you're going to be with a group for that. And so we like for our clients, when they can, to cruise after the tour. But if you get there, this rail experience, Anchorage to into Fairbanks, Denali Park, is absolutely incredible experience, and highly recommend that. You're going to talk about the rail journey itself for the rest of your life. It's that gorgeous, that unforgettable. And then when you get up to Denali, you're going to see have the best opportunities of anything that you can ever imagine to see the wildlife. If you see moose and caribou anywhere outside of doing one of these cruise tours, you're going to be a very fortunate person. But it's when you visit Denali Park, spotting moose, wildlife like the caribou, Dall sheep, all of those things, pretty much you can count on that. Of course, it's not Disney, so they don't come out and perform on schedule, but it's your best chance to see the wildlife like this is when you do the cruise tour and get up into Denali Park, Anchorage area, up north there, where they are so abundant, and it's unforgettable, and the experience is something that you never forget. Talk about family memories. It's a great trip to take multi-generational families, kids that are in there, from age 10 on up. It's a great trip, and they are going to remember that for the rest of their lives also. Another trip that I highly recommend is the river cruise experience. Oh, it's just such an incredible way to visit Europe, because you get on your river ship. Now, these ships are going to hold, depending on which provider you book, the top number of people you're going to have on board is going to be about 190. And with some of the five-star luxury lines like Uniworld and Talc, you're going to have more like 110 to 130 people on board. So you're going to have a small, intimate group of people, and you will get on board, you unpack, you settle into your beautiful vessel, and it delivers you. It's really more like a floating resort hotel than it is like a cruise in so many respects. It's just a hotel that takes you from one destination to the other, and it is absolutely fabulous. I happen to travel with Talc, which is one of the high-end providers. They have an incredible experience. This is an image of Budapest, where we had a lovely lunch at this wonderful hotel, and that vehicle is parked. I can't even remember what it is, but you car fans will know what it is, but it was parked outside, and lots of people were getting their pictures taken with that. And here is an incredible. This is again is Budapest, and as we were departing, this is the Parliament building, very, very famous building, right there on the Danube River. Just an incredible experience. The scenery as you come down, you visit all of these. You visit the small towns, these villages along the way, and you visit then. One of my favorite experiences in Engerhartsel, we stopped, and that's another small town along the way. But we visited. We were able to break down into small groups of 6 or 8 people, and we actually went into homes and visited with local families, and were able to talk in depth about their experience and what it's like to live there, and ask questions. And we happened to be with our group. We only had like 6 of us, and we visited this charming old farm right there on the banks of the river. And the home actually dates back to the early 1800s. And we got to sample the homemade bread that she had there, and this liqueur that they that they brew there, that I swear was like 98% alcohol. So this was 10:30 in the morning, and a small sip of that just about set my hair on fire. So it was an amazing experience, unforgettable. Here again, incredible memories, and I highly recommend a river cruise. It's just such a civilized, convenient, lovely way to see the interior of Europe. And I just think that for many people, it is the ultimate travel experience when you want to see the interior of Europe up close and personal, in a very comfortable and convenient, non-stressful manner. And listen, I have to mention, you know me, I have to mention the food on board. Absolutely amazing, just excellent cuisine, and wonderful menus. And just I can't say enough about the food. There are many providers for the river cruise experience. Everybody knows Viking. They have an advertising budget, and so you see them all the time on the screens. We work with other providers. AMA and Avalon are 2 of our favorites, and at the high end, Talc and Uniworld are 2 that are reliable. And the differences on the river cruises are how many people are on board. So when you are on one of the Viking, you'll have about more like 190. Same size vessels, they've got to fit through the locks. When you get to AMA and Avalon, you're probably around 160. And Talc and Uniworld, probably 110 to 130 people on board with you. And of course, the fewer people on board means the more space you have. The staterooms are a little larger. The finishes are a little more high end, and the public spaces, you have more elbow room as well, just more spacious. But the good news, folks, you really cannot take a bad river cruise. All of the providers do a tremendous job. We work with all of them, happy to help you sort out which would be the best fit for your travel style and preferences and your budget. Now, the last but not least on my list of my top 4 destinations, I have to put Croatia. I did not, and many of you have if you listen regularly, have heard us talking about Croatia. But friends, I had not had any desire to go to Croatia. It was nowhere on my radar. Did not appear. It probably would have been number 98 on my 100 destination bucket list. It wasn't anywhere on the radar for me. But I got an opportunity. That's one of the things about being in the travel business is every now and then we get an opportunity. And so last summer, I got a phone call and had an invitation to join this group of travel agents going to Croatia, doing a fabulous, what we call a fam trip in the industry to familiarize ourselves with the destination. And friends, I cannot even begin to tell you, I was just so surprised because I just found Croatia to be absolutely magical. It just captured my imagination and so thrilled me and so surprised me at every turn. You have just, I mean, it just checks off all the boxes. You have this incredible scenery. We did a pre-cruise tour. We had a 7-night coastal cruise on a small yacht that accommodated 30 passengers maximum. And we had a visit on the interior. Starting off, we started off in Zagreb and visited some. It's just an incredible city. You could spend a week there actually just exploring that beautiful city and all of the dining opportunities and the history that goes back. And then we went to Plitvice Parks and folks, if you're an adventure sort of person, you like hiking, you enjoy wildlife and beautiful nature and landscapes. What a beautiful place! And I just want to give credit here. I poached a number of photographs for this presentation from our good friend and fellow agent. Jason is actually part of the Dancing Moon Travel family. He's booking some travel and leads photo travel excursions, and he's also a travel advisor with us. And I've used some of his photos. He was there shortly after I was last year, and folks, his photography is so much better than mine. I admire it so much, but he just this is Split. And he took this shot, but just the history, Diocletian Palace. There's so much to see in this charming destination. This is where we met our yacht and started our cruise adventure as we concluded our land tour and got on board our yacht to complete our trip. But Split was just a charming city. And we visited these beautiful islands and the mainland along the way. I actually took this photograph. It's in Korčula, Serenity Hostel Korčula there. But it's the charm and history in these destinations is just breathtaking. You know, I tell my clients when you visit places like Rome and the group in Greece, Athens, you visit the ruins, and they're fascinating. I'm not saying anything against that, but then when you go to Croatia, you're actually seeing these same structures that date back to these same, hundreds and hundreds of years, and people are not. I mean, they're not ruins. People are living in them. People are conducting their businesses in them. I mean, look at this. These date back hundreds of years, and here people are having their businesses run out of these charming ancient structures. It was absolutely amazing. Here's a night shot that Jason took. One of the things is I noticed as we cruised along and went from one destination to the other, I absolutely could not believe. It amazed me. I kept thinking, how are they doing this? Because each day, each stop was so exquisite and so interesting and fascinating and beautiful and then the next day it seemed like, how do they do this? Because it seemed like each one of our destinations was better than the day before. I just couldn't figure out how they managed to do that. But that's just as we went along the coast. It was amazing. And of course, you end up in Dubrovnik, which is kind of, if you're a King of Thrones fan, this is a place you definitely have on your bucket list. But just an amazing, the old walled city is just incredible. It's so beautiful, something that you just cannot get enough. And if you're a photographer, folks, Croatia just has to be on your must-see list because the photo ops are everywhere, and they are stunning and amazing, and you just cannot get enough of them. Finally, I just got to mention here I am back at the food again, but this was actually just in our first night in Zagreb. This was the appetizer board that was put out at the restaurant that we visited there, and it was amazing. I didn't think I liked prosciutto until I got to Croatia, folks. It was absolutely so delicious. And the olive oil it's just incomparable to anything that you buy off the store shelves here. It is absolutely just just delicious. I think it has some addictive properties in some kind because it was so good. Folks, I just have to tell you, we are going back. We will be doing the same yacht tour, 7 nights from Split to Dubrovnik. We have a few staterooms open if you're still interested, 30 passengers max. We have 3 or 4 rooms still available, so we could accommodate you. If you do not have any summer plans, this could be your opportunity to go. And I will be on board. We have optional pre and post opportunities on this as well. If you want to just mention, you could just contact me. If you want to get in touch, want more information, if you just message me, we have a website that I can get out to you that has all of the information. It includes everything about our optional pre and post tours. And if you're a photographer, we also have a great opportunity because we have Jason Odell, who took most of these pictures that I've shown you of the Croatia destination. He was behind the camera on those. Just message me and we'll get that information out to you. Interested in Croatia, but for some reason, the August date just can't work for you. Folks, we also have an opportunity in September. It will be mostly photographers on board that, but if you're not a photographer, you are still welcome. I'll cut you a very special deal on that. And speaking of deals, we do have one for both of those trips right now to fill up that remaining space. Friends, I'm telling you, there's never been a better deal than this. I am offering buy one, get one half off. So why don't you just take a look at our marketing site? Remember that the prices that you see on there, your companion will get 50% off of their trip. And we do have space available on the pre and post as well. So folks, thanks for joining us. We so appreciate when you take time from your busy schedule. I hope maybe that listening to me talk about some of my top 4 destinations ever has maybe given you a bit of inspiration, and you might add one or more of these to your own personal travel list. We can help you make those dreams a reality. What are you waiting for? People who wait just sometimes die with regrets instead of memories. I'm just saying, folks, you can't afford to put it off forever. Waiting until next year, 5 years, your retirement, whatever it is you're waiting for, we're not guaranteed that time. And that's just the truth of it. So if you have a real dream, a travel dream, I really encourage you to make that dream a reality. Contact us or another travel agent. We're good at helping you with inspiration as well as the nuts and bolts of putting your dream trip together. As always, folks, I am going to offer a giveaway tonight, and it is luggage tags. I have a set of luggage tags for some lucky winner this evening. If you're watching live, only live listeners now, right now in the comments section of this broadcast, just enter the word travel. I just want the word travel. If you enter the word travel, you'll be entered into tonight's drawing to get a set of these leather luggage tags for your next journey to wherever you plan to go. This is Pat at Dancing Moon Travel. We're so glad you joined us, and we hope to see you again next week for another episode of Let's Not Talk Travel. Bye, folks.